From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on Newstalk, KZRG.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and on your smart speaker, it's Newstalk KZRG. Ted Bohorquez
and Steve Scott.
And I know we had teased that Missouri State Senator Holly Reher, who's running for Missouri Lieutenant Governor, was going to be joining us at this time, but unfortunately, we will have to reschedule that. So we'll be speaking with her soon in the near future regarding that race. Speaking of races that is happening, 2024, it's a big year.
Yes, it is a huge year.
A very big year for elections indeed. There's a lot going on. A big note is that Joe Biden, along with former President Donald Trump, they are going to be debating this Thursday. Newstalk KZRG, we're going to be covering that debate live, or right here on Newstalk KZRG. And so, yes, be sure to keep an eye out for that. And joining us right now on the KZRG Morning News Watch is Missouri State Senator Holly Reher, who's running for Missouri Lieutenant Governor. Senator, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Thank you for joining us here this morning, Senator Reher. Now, for those that aren't familiar with you or your platform, your history, can you give us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, yeah. So I am not typically what you find in politics. I know probably a lot of people say that, but I grew up, with a mother that struggled with mental illness. We, no father. My dad wasn't around until I was older, but we moved over 30 times between the third grade and the beginning of the 10th grade when I had to quit school to help take care of my mom and my little sister. So I was born in Memphis, spent my young years in Dallas, but we always came back to Southeast Missouri because that's where my mama was from. And when things would go south for her, we would just hop a Greyhound bus and go to California or Texas or Florida or wherever. I've lived a lot of places. Like I said, had to quit school at 15 to help take care of her and my little sister. I also married my 21-year-old boyfriend at 15 and then was pregnant 4 months later. And so I really had to, look at my life and say, okay, what I'm fighting to get out of, growing up in horrific domestic violence, sexual abuse, drug abuse. One of my stepdads was a dealer. My sister was an addict by the time she was 16. She married her dealer, her 39-year-old dealer, when she was 16. I didn't want my child to grow up in that. I wanted them to have a different life. And so I put my head down, I worked, and God opened doors for me, and I fought my way out of it. I did jobs like a hotel maid. I was a nanny. Waitress. I wasn't a very good waitress. I'm dyslexic, and so that didn't work out very well. But I did what I had to do and worked my way up. I started in the mailroom of a cable company in Saxon. Once my children started school, I didn't leave. So I raised my kids in Saxon. They all graduated from Saxon Public Schools. I wanted them to have the experience of being in the same school their whole life. I moved multiple times a year. So I started in the mailroom of a cable company and opening payments and posting payments, for minimum wage, and then worked my way up from there. When I left there, I was one of the top 5 directors of the company, making a wonderful salary 14 years later. And I did that because I got my GED. I took classes at night and on the weekends. Again, I'm dyslexic, so I needed to take the classes. And then I got my college degree. It took me 17 years to get it, but I did it at night and on the weekends as I paid for it as I went, and, was raising a family and working more than a full-time job. But I wanted to be a good example for my children, and, I raised them in church. It was working for that cable company as Director of Government Affairs. I started getting asked to go to Jeff City to work on a bill that was affecting our industry. And that's what really gave me my first view of government. And it was I didn't have government in high school because I didn't go to high school. And so it was shocking and disappointing to me, I guess. I had fought to get out of poverty, and I knew that the system so often held people back from ever rising to their potential. And I felt like those were the kind of things that we needed to be working on, that we needed to be talking about, instead of fighting over, whatever was the most polarizing thing to get a news line, to get a headline, and then not getting anything across the line. I felt like there was just a lot of talk and not a lot of action. And I'm somebody that, I don't want to hear your flowery words. Show me what you've done. And so I decided, I went home and talked to my family and said, hey, I want to run for office whenever the kids are old enough. And so that's what I did. And I was in the House for 8 years. I won. I ran and won. Surprised me, surprised everybody. I'm the girl from the wrong side of the tracks. But I won, and, God opened that door for me, and I've worked my butt off, for things that I know affect people's lives. The opioid epidemic, I've worked on it, for 10 years. For 9 years, I worked to pass the prescription drug monitoring program and got that passed. Missouri was the only state that didn't allow the doctors to have that tool. Right to work. I passed right to work. Everybody told me when I was running for office, and I was running on right to work, and I was running on the prescription drug monitoring program. They're like, you don't need to, even try either one of those. Those are never going to pass. Well, I passed both of them. And, I know we lost right to work at the ballot, but I wasn't afraid of the unions. I'm not afraid. I'm not in jeopardy to make friends. I'm there to get a job done. And, I'm scrappy. I was raised in trailer parks, so I don't mind a fight. And that's me. And so I've been in the Senate for 4 years and have really passed some great legislation to help victims of sexual assault, sex trafficking, and domestic violence, kids in our foster care system, and our veterans. That we have such high cases of veteran suicide, higher than the national average. And so those are the things that I've worked on. When Lieutenant Governor Kehoe decided he was going to run for governor, I'm a policy person. I want to get good things done that's going to affect generations. And so I really had to look at the two jobs, either running for Senate again or running for Lieutenant Governor, and say, okay, which one can I affect the most policy? Well, as Senator, I have to work on everything that comes across my desk. I have to be knowledgeable about it. I have to spend time on every bill. As Lieutenant Governor, I can really delve into some important policy topics and work through a couple of senators to try to get those passed. And so I know that Lieutenant Governor would give me a much stronger ability to get some good things done for the people of the state faster than as a senator.
It's Missouri State Senator Holly Reher here on Newstalk KZRG. She's running for Missouri Lieutenant Governor. And now, Senator Reher, to that of sort of why you're running for Lieutenant Governor, you want to get stuff done for the state of Missouri. What would you say the top three things are that you are looking to get things done if you are elected Lieutenant Governor?
Working on our foster care system, our Department of Child, I don't know what the new name of it is now. I'm losing it, but we did losing the thought there, but we changed it from Children's Division to Department of Child something. Our foster care system is broken, and we need somebody from the executive branch to delve into that and figure it out. We have got Missouri outpaces other states our size tremendously. Like at any given day, we have about 14,000 children in our foster care system. About 6,000 of them are cycling through each year from substance abuse homes. Other states our size have anywhere from 3,000 to 7,000. Ours is 14. So delving into some of these departments and trying to figure out what the problem is, but our foster care system is number one. Our veterans, I've worked a lot in homelessness and our veteran suicide rate. Homelessness really needs more of a focus from the executive branch. It needs more help. And, not only is there some legislation that I've been working on that we need to get passed, but also just looking at the system and saying, okay, where is our system for veterans working in the state, and where is it falling short of other states? And really getting in there and trying to work with the Veterans Division and getting them the help that they need to be able to provide full service for our veterans, and that includes housing.
It's Missouri State Senator Holly Reher running for Missouri Lieutenant Governor here on Newstalk KZRG. Senator, we're up against the clock here, but if people want to learn more about you, what you stand for, your platform, and your campaign, where do they go?
They can go to hollyreher.com, and that's HOLLYREHDER.com. I'm also on all the social medias, and so if you just put in Holly Reher, you will find me, and you can sign up to get weekly updates if you'd like. But I'd appreciate it, and I'd certainly appreciate everyone's consideration for a vote. It is my heart's desire to work hard for this state and change generations to come for the better.
Senator Holly Reher for Missouri Lieutenant Governor, thank you very much for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on.
We'll talk to you again soon, Senator. It's News Talk, KZRG.